Looking for a remote job in 2025? Be careful. That dream work from home offer could cost you everything. Scammers across the UK are setting up fake job listings, sending out convincing emails, and using WhatsApp to target people desperate for flexible work. This is ScamWatch UK, and today we're exposing how the latest fake job and remote work scams operate, and how to spot them before it's too late. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for weekly updates on the latest scams threatening people just like you all across the UK. So let's break down how this works. It all starts with something that looks completely normal. You're scrolling through social media, maybe a popular recruitment site, or you might even get a message out of the blue on WhatsApp. The message says something like, "We're hiring remote workers. Flexible hours, easy income, no experience needed." It seems like the perfect opportunity, right? You click, you fill out a simple form, and sometimes within minutes, you get an email saying you're hired. The whole process feels incredibly fast and easy. But here comes the catch, the part where the scam truly begins. You're asked to pay a small fee. They might call it a registration fee, a training deposit, or a cost for essential equipment. The amount can vary, but it's often somewhere between £50 and £500. They make it sound like a standard procedure, a small investment to secure a great job. But once you send that money, they vanish. Complete radio silence. The job you were so excited about doesn't exist. There's no refund, and the company is suddenly unreachable. In the worst-case scenarios, it's not just your money they've taken. They now have your personal details from your application, your name, address, maybe even your bank information, which they can use for identity theft. These aren't just amateur operations. Some of these scams are incredibly sophisticated. Let me give you a real example we've seen recently. A group of scammers posed as a recruitment agency, hiring for a major, well-known UK retailer. They had a professional-looking website and sent out official-looking contracts. Victims were even invited to Zoom interviews with people pretending to be HR representatives. Everything seemed legitimate. The candidates felt confident they were joining a real company. But after the interview, they were told they needed to pay a few £100s for a mandatory training course. People paid, believing it was the final step to starting their new job. Of course, that money went straight into the fraudsters' bank accounts, and the victims never heard from them again. The scale of this problem is growing at an alarming rate. According to the latest figures from Action Fraud, reports of job fraud have jumped by over 20% in the last year alone. The total losses from these scams have now topped a staggering £9 million. That's £9 million stolen from people who were simply trying to find work and provide for their families. And these are just the reported cases. The true figure is likely much, much higher, as many people feel too embarrassed to come forward. This isn't a small-time issue. It's a multi-million-pound criminal enterprise that's preying on the hopes of job seekers. You might be wondering, how do these scammers even find me? Well, they've become very proactive. They aren't just waiting for you to stumble upon their fake ads. They are actively hunting for victims. They scrape data from public CV websites, professional networking sites like LinkedIn, and even public Facebook job groups where people post looking for work. They gather your details and then send you personalized messages, often pretending to represent big brands or recruitment agencies. The messages will often say something like, "Hi, we saw your CV online and were very impressed. You've been shortlisted for a remote role with us." This personalized approach makes the offer feel exclusive and legitimate. Their entire strategy is built around creating a sense of urgency. They want to make the offer sound so easy, so perfect, and so risk-free that you act on impulse before you have a chance to think it through or do any research. So, how can you protect yourself? How do you spot a fake job offer before you lose your money? Here are the key red flags to watch out for. First, you're offered the job instantly or after a very brief, unprofessional chat. Real companies have a proper hiring process. If there's no real in-depth interview with multiple people, that's a huge warning sign. Second, they ask for money up front. This is the biggest giveaway. A legitimate employer will never ask you to pay for training, equipment, a background check, or a registration fee. They cover those costs themselves. If anyone asks you for money to get a job, it's a scam. Third, look at how they contact you. Scammers often use free email services like Gmail or Hotmail, or they communicate exclusively through messaging apps like WhatsApp or Telegram. A real company will almost always use a corporate email address, for example, an email ending in acompanyname.co.uk. Fourth, check their website and online presence. Scammers often create quick, cheap websites that look unfinished or have spelling and grammar mistakes. Do a quick search for the company name. Do they have a long-standing digital footprint? Are there reviews? If the website was only created a few weeks ago, be very suspicious. And finally, they rush you. Scammers create a false sense of urgency, telling you the offer is only available for a limited time or that you must pay immediately to secure your spot. They do this to pressure you into making a quick decision without thinking. If any of those red flags sound familiar, stop, take a step back, and walk away. It's almost certainly a scam. But what if you've already fallen for it? What if you've sent money or your personal information to one of these scammers? It's a horrible feeling, but it's crucial to take action immediately. Don't panic, but act fast. First, contact your bank straight away. Explain that you've been the victim of a scam and ask if they can recall the payment or block the transaction. The sooner you do this, the better your chances of getting your money back. Second, report it. You must report the incident to Action Fraud, which is the UK's National Reporting Centre for Fraud and Cybercrime. You can do this easily on their website at actionfraud.police.uk. Reporting helps the police build a bigger picture and can prevent others from falling for the same scam. Third, secure your accounts. If you've shared personal details, change your passwords for your email, online banking, and any other sensitive accounts immediately. Consider setting up two-factor authentication for extra security. And fourth, warn others. These scammers often reuse the same fake job ads and company names. By sharing your experience on social media or with friends and family, you can raise awareness and stop them from tricking someone else. These fake job offers are getting more sophisticated every day, but by knowing the signs, you can protect yourself. Always take a moment to research the company thoroughly before you apply. Never, ever pay to get hired. And most importantly, trust your gut. If a job offer seems too good to be true, promising high pay for very little work with no experience needed, then it almost certainly is. This is ScamWatch UK, exposing the scams that threaten your money, your data, and your peace of mind. Stay alert, stay protected, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a warning. Thank you for watching.